All right, welcome back to Flex Talks, the podcast, episode 299. Today on the show, leaked texts from a young Republicans group chat are going around, and we're going to tell you why they're funny and not bad. Then, there's a big No Kings protest coming this weekend. We're going to show you who's paying for all that. Then in Cringe of the Week, we have a girl with useless degrees, no job, lots of debt, and she's crying about it. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, we have more violent repeat offenders who have been let out by the same judge who let out Irina Zarutska's killer. All this and more, it's Flex Talks, the podcast, episode 299, ranked the best news podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Flex Talks, the podcast featuring Richard Grabboy.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, what if I told you you could have parasites living inside you right now, causing tumors and severe neurological problems without you even realizing they're the culprit? And we all know that doctors aren't trained to find the root cause of these issues, but Dr. Peter McCullough, one of America's leading medical experts, recently highlighted a shocking case in the New England Journal of Medicine where a man went blind in one eye from a parasitic worm. We are learning across areas of medical expertise that parasites are a real and growing threat. These are not third world issues. The CDC has even admitted that millions of Americans suffer from parasitic infections that often go undetected until they cause cancer, seizures, or even heart failure. That's why Dr. McCullough says this makes the case to do a medical-grade parasite cleanse at least once a year. The wellness company's ivermectin and mebendazole parasite cleanse is a doctor-prescribed, USA-compounded, gold standard combination designed to help the body eliminate all types of parasites. One cycle is 21 days, but you get a 90-day supply. The process is fully digital. You fill out an intake form, a doctor reviews it, and then your cleanse is sent to you within a week. Be proactive with the wellness company's parasite cleanse. Go to twc.health/Fleckus. Use code Fleckus at checkout for $60 off of your order. There's free shipping. This is for U.S. residents only. Cleanse your body today. Thank you to the wellness company for sponsoring. Let's get to housekeeping. All right, thank you to the wellness company for sponsoring.
Thank you, the wellness company.
Guys, we've been talking about parasites and the bugs on the inside for a while. If you have brain fog, sugar cravings, all that stuff, you got to do a parasite cleanse. The Amish do a parasite cleanse every year.
Really?
Yeah, and I saw a stat that said if you eat sushi somewhat regularly, you got parasites. And I don't want to be too graphic here.
Okay.
But when you do the parasite cleanse, they pass through.
What does?
The parasites come out.
Bugs? Or
and
bugs
then
in you?
And you see it, and then you go, ooh, I'm glad that's gone, and then you feel a lot better after.
All right.
All right, let's get back into the show. How's everyone?
Tough ad read there. Bugs in you. You have bugs in you. Wake up. You need to wake up.
It's not good. It's not pretty, and we all pretty much have them.
Okay.
Well, we have a great show coming. Happy Friday, everybody. I don't know if you noticed the resolution of the camera is a little better.
Yeah, we're shooting in 4K now.
We're getting ready for the big episode 300 on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. And we got a little complacent too long there. 1080p, compressed files, looking like horse shit.
Now we're back in 4K.
B- operation. We were never in 4K though, right?
Never in 4K. And all it took was a couple clicks of the buttons and we could have done 100 episodes.
So we're learning. Be patient with us.
Hey, we're
but
learning.
Also, the file size is gigantic. It becomes a whole thing. So But we are making the move.
We're making the move and it feels good and we're very clear.
Too many people watch it on their whole TV. And now I'm like, all right, we're blurry on the TV or something. So it's about time to make a move. Right?
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first clip of the day. We're not making fun of anybody.
Okay.
But Mitch McConnell, the old Mitch McConnell, turtle guy, got frozen that time. Mm-hmm. He fell down.
He's got a helper the whole time.
He's got a helper who holds him up. And then he needs the help. And he's going, uh-oh.
Hiking boots.
I'm glad he's okay.
I'm glad he's retiring, guys.
He's done, right?
Yeah, he's retiring after this term, but this is a lawmaker currently in the U.S. Senate in charge of stuff, a high-ranking senator, right?
Crazy.
What happened to America where we
Can't
let these
walk.
old men? You know, America was founded on a revolution, obviously, and they said during times of revolution, never trust a man over 35 or something like that. Someone had a famous quote, and it's like, look at the rank, and Chuck Schumer's on the opposite end. We got Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi. It's like we are so cooked and we're so like running on fumes for these old ass politicians. And like that's not to say like Trump is much younger or anything, but he was at least an outsider who kind of came in, got something stolen from him.
Yeah.
But the elderly are running the country, and then we're kind of on this like track down. So make of that what you will.
Their brains don't even work anymore.
And not to say I want a young communist to change things up.
Yeah, we need Mamdani.
Yeah, so.
All right, let's get to our big story of the day. There was a leaked group chat from the Young Republicans Club, and people are not happy about it. I love Hitler is one of the tweets.
Of course they led with that. They led with I love Hitler, which was obviously in some weird, funny context about someone being the most right-wing, and they're saying it sarcastically, but Politico takes it and runs with it, right?
Yep, and can you read kind of the headline?
I loved Hitler. Leaked messages expose young Republicans' racist chat. Thousands of private messages reveal young GOP leaders joking about gas chambers, slavery, and rape.
Well, here's the boring take. Well, that Democrat Jay Jones, he said he wants to kill his opponent's kids, and he called them fascists and wants to kill everybody. So if you don't care about that, we don't care about this. That's the boring take.
Yeah.
Here's the real take. It's funny. I don't care. And that's how I talk in my group chat, too.
And there wasn't one hard R in this group chat. It was all GGA.
Yeah. I don't care. That's how I talk. In my group chats, everyone's an N-word, everyone's an F-slur or retard or something anti-Semitic. Yeah. That's how real N-words talk.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to self-censor.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm in the group chats. You don't think I'm in your group chats?
Yeah,
I know what you're group chatting about. But one of the things is, too, that I will push back a little bit on you is I read some of these texts, and some of them weren't funny. Some of them were like more shock value, edgelord stuff. And you have to be funny when you're using slurs.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big tenet of using slurs amongst the boys is, if it's too gratuitous, then it loses its luster, right?
I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, you contain them, you use them when you need to. I don't use
them.
I say we overuse retard probably a little too much.
Yeah.
And well, yeah.
But you can never apologize for it, obviously. And we have some of the stats. Can you read?
251 times. That's the F slur, the N word, and retarded. 251 times. That's like a paragraph break in the Politico thing.
Yeah.
Going, oh my God, 251. So somebody was like bean counting all the slurs. Crazy.
And then Chuck Schumer took the opportunity. This is sickening, revolting, vile. It makes you want to throw up. What are you talking about?
You're jumping on a political opportunity. You're having no physical feelings in you, Chuck.
Who cares? Yeah. And then, obviously, we expect Chuck Schumer to try to capitalize and get the Republicans in trouble. But then we have Brylan Hollaham.
Yeah, Brylan Hollaham, he said this is horrible and disgusting, but thankfully none are running for office.
No, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh. And then it's like, all right, you don't have any real friends and you're not cool and you don't have any group chats where you guys are being the boys.
Mm-hmm. You're not sending links. You're not sending schizo theories. You're not sending videos that you couldn't even put on the podcast because they're so insanely violent. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain camaraderie amongst men, and it's also mutually assured destruction. You talk about whatever, slurs, jokes, and then everyone's in on it. You're in on this now. You can't leak the group
It's like a blackmail ring.
I wouldn't say that. It's a code of silence. It's a code of silence among the boys.
And it's like a rite of passage, and it's like exactly like you said, like we're sending it back and forth, and then like we're having an agreement like that's like blood brother.
Also, dude, human nature in general. Oh, you can't say this word. What do you mean? I'm a free man in America. I can say anything.
That's a good point.
There's a little bit of pushback. Like, you can't have this cookie. Well, no, I want the cookie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's part of the taboo is why it happens. So you could make up a word that has no offensive meaning, but if it became taboo, people would use it. That's how the world works, right, guys?
Yeah.
So don't cry about it.
And then all the Republicans that are trying to separate themselves from these people or say they're bad or irredeemable or whatever.
Other young Republican clubs coming in to disavow.
Yeah, I think that's cowardly. And I think I have the opposite take of them because we want the young Republicans to be appropriately racist, a.k.a. aware of black crime and statistics, and aware of Israeli influence. Oh, they're anti-Semitic. They might be aware of like what Zionism is really about. So, like, I think that's who should actually inherit the party.
Yeah, totally. And
as opposed to some boomer Brylan Hollahan.
And one of the things that I was realizing is all these like women in leadership positions in the YR making PR statements and stuff like that. And this isn't really the like women who are buttoned up and worried about no new taxes. That's not the party that we're in right now. We're in the young, mad white kids and young men, rather, worried about demographic replacement, discrimination against the founding stock of this country, and more serious issues. We're not really concerned with words at this point. They killed Charlie Kirk. Do we even have to get into that? Who they've killed?
It's so true.
Irina Zarutska dead. People stabbed.
You said a word in a private?
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. And one point I saw someone make online was like, we don't need you to those like young Republican uptight types, but you need us, the like angry, disenfranchised younger men.
Yeah, it's
you
very
need us
true.
to vote to win. So
very true. Then can you read some more of the context here?
Yeah, Junta claimed the release of the chat log. He was one of the victims, or one of the chatters, if you will. Claimed the release of the chat log is part of a highly coordinated year-long character assassination led by Gavin Wax and the New York City Young Republican Club.
That's interesting. And I'm going to offer another side of that. I heard that it wasn't Gavin Wax who did it, but it was actually the guy Bartle. And Gavin Wax can't defend himself because he has a high up job at the State Department now. So he's kind of been quiet and he can't really talk about this. And I've known Gavin Wax for a while, and I wouldn't expect him to do something like that. So everyone's kind of blaming him, but there is a world where it actually wasn't him. I can't fully confirm it, but I've heard from sources that are like really good friends with him that this is mischaracterizing what happened.
Yeah, but then didn't somebody else write like an affidavit like that Gavin Wax did it? So I don't know. It's murky right now.
It's murky, but apparently these texts have been getting sent around all over town for months, and finally Politico picked it up.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll see. And we have a little meme here. Satanic pedophile elites, internet racist, the future of all mankind. That's what you don't realize.
Yeah.
We need these little racist people. All right, let's get to our next story. Nancy Pelosi was confronted about January 6th, and she kind of freaks out.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
And at the end, she turns around and faces the camera, kind of like, got her. Yeah. And then Nancy Pelosi has a little helper, too.
I know. She's getting walked along. There's elderly people running our country into the ground, getting rich off of it, too.
Getting walked around. And what Nancy Pelosi said was not true because Trump did request the National Guard many times, and she did not send it until the damage was done. It was part of the plan, and we actually have a chain of command conversation with Nancy Pelosi's Sergeant at Arms. Can you read that tweet?
Yeah, former chief of the U.S. Capitol Police calls out Pelosi directly, says she repeatedly denied his multiple requests for National Guard assistance before and on January 6th. And she even denied his urgent request for over 70 minutes on January 6th once the situation was out of hand. So here's a list of all the times she denied it. January 3rd, and then January 6th, the day of, all a bunch of times.
And then at 2:08 p.m., when things are hectic and everything's bad, then she goes, oh, yeah, maybe we send it in. So it played out exactly like they wanted it to play out.
For sure.
And everyone was protesting that day because the election was stolen. Joe Biden didn't really win. And we have the graph here that proves it.
Yeah. I don't know if this is to scale, but it gives you a ballpark. 69 million, this popular vote. Obama 69 and 65, Hillary 65. Joe Biden, 81 million votes. It's going to be a while before that ever hits 81 again.
It's like, I don't think it's ever even possible.
Yeah.
And then we can't forget the people from our side who shamed people for saying it was not legit, like Dan Crenshaw. Remember?
Election deniers, people who would call you that.
Call you an election denier. Never forget who did that. All right, this weekend, tomorrow, there's a big No Kings protest nationwide. They're really gearing up. But we found who's sponsoring it. There's nothing really organic about this. It's all NGOs and nonprofits, and we have their logos here.
Yeah, and most of them are kind of, I would guess most of them have some Soros money. And it says, no kings, no troops in our cities, no billionaires. And then you're being funded by groups that were funded by billionaire George Soros.
Yeah.
And here we'll read a couple. I mean, the Freedom Socialist Party, Democratic Socialists of America, CPUSA, that's just Communist Party of USA. Communists openly are doing this. And so last time we saw the No Kings protest, nothing really happened. It was like people honking at cars and side of the road and old boomers leaving.
Yeah, we have a clip here of some of the boomers. Yeah. This is the last one.
No kings! No kings! No kings! No kings! No kings! No kings! 8647! 8647! 8647!
It's all boomers doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. And they say no kings as if like Trump is not really elected. He won the Electoral College and the popular vote, and everyone just wants the illegals gone.
Yeah.
And they call him a king for that. Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
And then we
Good
have...
luck. Have fun with your little activities, though. You got to do something.
Yeah, big time.
I'm glad I'm not on that side right now and like having to go do something. You know what I mean?
And then you
like,
show up Saturday morning, and who's there? All these old boomers?
Old boomers.
We're making a difference.
They get busted, and then it's a feel-good thing. It's for each other, you know,
Yeah.
so they can feel like they're doing something.
And a lot of the protest is because of the ICE presence in the major cities that have crime problems. And then Don Lemon had this video message about what to do if you're approached by ICE.
Black people, brown people of all stripes, whether you're an Indian American or a Mexican American or whoever you are, go out in your place where you live and get a gun legally, get a license to carry legally. Because when you have people knocking on your door and taking you away without due process as a citizen, isn't that what the Second Amendment was written for? Go back.
That's kind of an insane statement.
Yeah, and then coming from like a gay urbanite social guy,
Yeah.
who's just probably never handled a gun in his entire life, a little crazy. Telling his audience, "Go get a gun
For when they come knocking on your door. And then he says...
shoot through the door." That's like, what is he?
And then he's basically saying, like, oh, you can do this because you have no due process that you're owed. But my theory or my view on this is if you didn't do due process coming in, you don't get due process going out.
I know.
If you didn't come in and it's like, you know, your Second Amendment's for citizens. And if you didn't come in to America like a citizen should, then you're not going out like a citizen would.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And unfortunately, some random district judges disagree with us. And that's who kind of makes the injunctions and makes what happens happen.
No due process in, no due process out.
That sounds simple to me.
It's like 6 words.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our next segment, AIPAC. We have a little bit of an AIPAC section. We're not going to go crazy. We're not going to harp on it, but I did see an interesting interview where Gavin Newsom was asked about AIPAC, and he kind of squirmed.
Interesting. You're like the first to bring up AIPAC in years, which is interesting.
I will not vote for a candidate that takes $1 from AIPAC.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I haven't thought about AIPAC. And it's interesting. You're like the first to bring up AIPAC in years, which is interesting.
Why?
Why did I say that? Not relevant to my day-to-day life.
Okay.
Which is just interesting.
Listen.
It's interesting you say that. JPAC perhaps more, but AIPAC less and less.
Okay. Fair enough.
Which is just interesting.
What's interesting?
It's interesting.
I think it's interesting. I think Gavin's interested.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Here's him squirming. But like we said a few minutes ago, this is going to be the key issue for the future of the Republican Party. Like, obviously, everyone wants the illegal immigrants out. That's an easy one. But for deciding for if a candidate is for us or against us, it's going to be if they're a Zionist or not. And I think that's going to be a top issue, especially with all the young people. That's like all they're noticing right now. And the old boomers, fine, they like Israel because it's in the Bible or something.
They're set in their ways.
But, you know, the boomers are going to kind of age out respectfully. And then all the young people are not really happy with the Zionist Israeli influence.
Yeah, and then like if you squirm or if you brush it off, it's not really good enough of an explanation. And then you kind of become that dual loyalty American or that, you know, second rate. Like, how can you be America first when you're constantly balancing the interests of two separate countries? And it's just obvious to the younger generation. And it's AIPAC has certain things like that they're exempt from registering as a foreign lobby, and people just see that as a double standard. And why is that one organization exempt, right?
And it shouldn't be exempt. And this is actually not a recent issue. It's not something that's gained popularity in the last few years. This has been going on for like 50 years. We found this ad from 1987 about the problems with AIPAC.
Hello, I'm Ted Pike, and this is my wife, Alin. Today, a foreign government, Israel, operates the most powerful lobby in Congress. This is AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Through control of Congress, Israel demands and gets nearly $5 billion annually. No elected official dares criticize Israel for fear the Jewish lobby will accuse him of anti-Semitism, the kiss of death for any politician.
So it's like the same thing.
Same playbook
from 40 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And they'll do their best in the meantime to cover for Israel with all of the media control. We saw that with Oracle buying TikTok, and they're already censoring. We have more bad Larry Ellison, David Ellison news.
Yeah, David Ellison, the son of Oracle founder Larry Ellison, is preparing to submit an official merger proposal to acquire Warner Brothers, HBO, and CNN.
Great.
Yeah. They're doing a grab. They're doing a media grab right now.
And they have so much money, and it's like, do we keep getting more money, or do we start acquiring and like bunching? And then you do, and you control the narrative in obvious or subtle ways.
Yeah, and then if you do a media grab like that, and then you don't lose money, like you don't even have to make money when you're $100 billion. When you have a net worth of $100 billion from all Oracle stock, you don't have to make any money.
Yeah.
You like when you become a super billionaire like that, like Elon, not making any money on Twitter. He did that for free speech and to kind of take control of the social media platform, right?
Well, hobby.
It's a little hobby for them. And so this is clearly like, it's not like, oh, I'm going to 10x Warner Brothers. That's not the goal. The goal is to control the information and the movies.
Yep. And it's going to happen. So keep an eye on it. Let's get to our migrant section. We're not going to go too crazy with the migrants today, but there is stuff to talk about. First, there was a Mandami voter, and I thought it was a pretty interesting scenario.
Yeah, this woman tweeted, Tulashi Chitrakar says he's a first-time voter who left work early to come to Mamdani's rally. He works in IT and is from an immigrant family from Nepal. Quote, it should not be a city of millionaires and billionaires. It should be for all, says this 45-year-old man from Nepal.
From Nepal. So he's from a communist country, and he's basically voting for communism again. And in his mind, and I think this happens with a lot of immigrants, it's like this give me free shit mindset. And like that's how his brain works. Like in Nepal, no free shit. America, lots of free shit. And like, that's it.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy transition.
That's the opportunity of coming to this country. It's like, oh, no free shit there. Lots of free shit here. And there's like millions of people who fall in that category.
Totally.
So that's pretty unfortunate. Next, we have a CDL driver who I believe is from India, and he is having some issues with immigration, and they're trying to make it a sob story on the news.
Last week, Vivek Sharma went to the DMV to renew his trucking license, but he was denied. The problem? New rules surrounding the process. As he explains in Hindi, only green card holders and U.S. citizens can get their commercial driver's license renewed. Sharma's been in the U.S. legally for the past 10 years, seeking political asylum. His final court case is next year. He's been driving a truck for the past 8 years, but now he can't. Ab kya karenge aap?
Abhi kya kuch local job dekhenge?
When asked what comes next, he says he's worried. Trucking paid well. The sudden stop in income means he won't have money to send back to his family in India. Now he will have to start over.
So you've been here for 10 years. You still speak zero English, and we're supposed to feel bad because he now can't send more of his money back to India.
Is there even an argument for this type of immigration? Is there just let him help his family out? Like, what's the argument for him, the guy who hasn't learned English in 10 years and who's made no progress, and he can't read street signs? I'm guessing.
I can't imagine.
I don't think there is an argument for him, and that's part of the problem, And they expect people not to look under the hood of what's happening in the trucking industry or with CDLs or with just Indian immigrants in general and how much they spend back to their home country. Thus, every $1,000 to an American, I go to Walmart, I go to the haircut place, I go to this, $1,000 goes to India. That's gone. That's their local economy now.
Yeah, very true.
And you can argue it strengthens the dollar internationally, but I don't give a fuck about that. So makes no sense.
But it's a sob story, and they want to support him because he's not white.
Because he's brown? I don't get it.
Yeah.
You need a Hindi translator to do the sob story on the CDL guy. And props to California, shocked by that you need, they're actually following the rules instead of writing a Gavin Newsom carve-out where he signs some executive order to say, no, we're ruining the rest of American highways.
You're not going to let us stop ruining the highways and killing people.
Yeah, and so I think federal rules means California could lose highway funding if it doesn't comply, is what the Cryon said, which is a big compliance thing that the federal government has over individual states because everybody is desperate for that highway funding money.
Very true. But there is a job he can do now that he's not driving the truck anymore. There is a new scam where, can you read what it says?
Yeah, this Indian guy tweeted, my AI Instagram girl is bringing in $30K a month. Just reached 300K followers. Most of her reels go viral. Nobody notices she is AI. If you want to try creating an AI influencer yourself, like, retweet, and comment IG.
So there's a new little business where Indian people are pretending to be girls and then scamming other Indian people.
Yeah, and you look at the replies, it's Barendra Singh saying IG, Miss Shashir, IG, Jubair, IG. So all the Indian men are piling in to create white AI women so that they can scam other men online.
And then you can DM the girl and they'll say, do you want to see my vagine?
Yeah.
You go, yes.
Some bad giveaways there if you don't play your cards right.
Yeah. But bigger picture, we all know why the illegals are here. It's to outnumber Republicans at the polls, and that's been a plan that's been in motion for a while. We have a clip here of Tim Walz signing the driver's license for all bill a couple years ago, and now that that's been passed and in action, a lot of illegals are getting driver's license, which is enough to vote. So we're going to play both these clips on top of each other.
It's done. A packed room at the St. Paul Armory erupted after the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
So we give driver's licenses to anyone here. You don't have to be a citizen. You don't have to, which is a photo ID. So if someone comes in, they register, they have the driver's license, but they have an incorrect social or no social or whatever. So then they become incomplete. But if they walk in to vote with their driver's license, does that make them all of a sudden now okay?
Mr. Linnell.
Madam Chair, so the designation on the roster for someone whose registration had been incomplete, if they present the election judge with that acceptable identification document, that would clear the challenge from the roster and they would be permitted to cast a ballot.
There you go. So if you have an ID, whether you're legal or not, you can vote. And then this sums it up as well. The Minnesota Director of Elections admits that illegal immigrants can vote if they have a driver's license.
Yeah, that was him.
That was him in one sentence instead of that long video.
Yeah, wasted our time there in 4K. Thank you, Fleckus.
But it makes you wonder, do you think the illegals will vote? Because
well, yeah, and now it's on them to say, oh, I'm not supposed to do that, and I'm not supposed to show up, because they can do it. They don't have to give a social. They can force a ballot through, right?
And they're already illegal.
Yeah.
So they don't really care about like, oh, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah,
like,
it's a law-breaking parlay. It doesn't fucking matter. You're already here illegally.
And if you think about it, they almost have to vote because one side wants to deport you or vote for the other side that will give you amnesty and free shit.
Yeah, it's all about incentives. So it's like if I make this risk, I might be clear for the next 10 years. And if I don't, I might be deported by ICE. Minneapolis might be the next city visited by feds, right?
That's exactly it. It's like an asymmetrical thing where if you don't vote, you're going to get deported. If you do vote, you might get in trouble, but if you vote, your side will win, so you won't get in trouble, and now you're a citizen.
Yeah, it's like a game theory bet. It's like, what should I do?
And I think they're going to do it, and a lot of times they come from like shithole countries that have fraud and election fraud, so they probably don't think it's like a big deal.
Plus, there's Somalis there.
Yeah.
What do you think the Somalis are going to do? We've seen them scam hearing aids, autism centers, everything.
Oh, that crosses the line.
But they won't vote in the election for the Somali candidate.
At the voting centers that are like made to allow them to vote by looking the other way, basically.
Unbelievable.
And we have a meme here of what that'll look like.
Yeah, well, this is a combination of stories. My name is No Name Given, and I'm voting Democrat for the CDLs at the No Name Given.
Pretty much what we're dealing with. And this started a while ago with Bill Clinton in the 90s. Can you read that? What was it? National Voter Registration Act?
Yeah, the National Voter Registration Act of 1993, commonly known as the Motor Voter Law, is a U.S. federal law designed to increase voter registration by making the process more accessible. Signed into law by President Bill Clinton on May 20th, 1993, and effective January 1st, 95. It aimed to boost voter turnout by simplifying registration, particularly for underrepresented groups.
So you have that, and you go, oh, this sounds good. Everyone's going to be able to vote. But then in the back of their mind, they knew they had the plan of loading up 50 million illegals in the meantime, and then all those people will have no barrier to entry to vote.
Yep.
It's kind of sick.
Yep.
All right, let's go abroad in our migrant section. This first clip is a video of what it looks like when these European girls went to Africa. This was their experience. So...
Oh, they ride the car.
People are holding on to the car. And look at them.
It's not like a truck with like floorboards or whatever, runners off the side. It's like a compact car, and they climb on.
And they're just looking in with that third world stare.
Yeah. Third world stare.
So it's not good. It's not pretty.
I don't know why someone would go to Africa at this point.
See a lion?
Adventure. Have an eat, pray, love moment.
Yeah.
Yes, go to the safari. I get that.
But you go to the zoo, you see it. You go see a lion in Denver.
That's not as cool, right?
I don't
They're
care.
kind of stuck in their little shitty enclosure. They're not healthy.
I don't see a difference. So that was the experience of those girls, those Europeans going to Africa. And for some reason, someone thought, hey, we got to bring Africa to Europe. This is the scene in Spain from this year. Look what everyone's doing trying to get on this bus.
This is not Africa. This is not some other disgusting part of the world. This is Spain. This is Spain. Yeah? Look at these creatures trying to get into this bus. This is the Mon bus. Tell me it's not Spain. Mon bus only exists in Spain. Look at this.
Spain looks like that.
That's a crime against humanity. And it looks like World War Z. They're pushing. What's the point of crowd surfing onto the bus? Who decides who gets on the bus?
Where's the bus even go?
That's what I'm saying. Nothing's that valuable to be a horde of Africans.
They won't vote.
Yeah, trust me. Trust me. They won't vote. You need some IDs for them, though.
And then we have a study that was done, and we kind of mentioned it a couple episodes ago, but we found the source clip, and this was a study done tracking migrants in Denmark from Palestine, and then they tracked them for multiple generations, and listen to how it turned out.
In 1992, the Danish government passed a law allowing the immigration, specifically of 321 refugees from Palestine. And the study followed them from 1992 to 2019. Out of the original 321 Palestinians, 204 ended up being convicted of a crime. 71 of them were jailed, and 176 ended up on welfare. So that accounts for 63% became criminals and were convicted, and more than half ended up on welfare. So they followed the second generation. They had 999 children. 337 ended up being convicted of a crime. 132 of them ended up being jailed. And 372 of them ended up on welfare. So that's a 34%.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
Yeah, they 3x their population, and they have the same rate of crime and welfare. Great.
We need them here. They help.
Should we stop? No. Let's keep pumping them into the rest of Europe and ruin the entire continent instead.
Yeah. And then the guy from Denmark who did the study, at the end, he concluded that it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Like he openly just said, like, this was a mistake. It didn't work like we thought.
Yeah, and we're watching a mistake unfold everywhere all the time right now. So for some reason, only far right categorized people have any issue with that.
Yeah.
Like you could send that to a leftist and say like, hey, can the system handle this? Can we 10x this and can the system handle it? And any reasonable person should say no and just be like, no, that's too high of a rate of welfare. Unfortunately, we can't be the charity dumping ground of the entire world. Plus, there's 1 billion third worlders or more out there. But I feel like they don't even disavow it. They don't even say, that didn't work or that's bad. They live in a denial and they think just a couple more generations until they vote for us every time.
And I think it's like a revenge against white colonialism.
For sure, that's part of it.
We colonialized everywhere, so, it's taste of your own medicine, as if we were going to their countries and, like, shitting on the road. Yeah. We came in, like...
Going to their countries, taking their money, like, physical money, like, free benefits for nothing.
We, like, built roads and buildings and water infrastructure. They come here and they throw their trash in the river. Yeah. And they go, well, we did it to them first. I don't think we did.
Something a little different there.
And it's like, I don't know, this isn't even like an obnoxious statement. Every country that was colonized was better off for it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And then you can make an argument about like, well, you took some of our uranium or like whatever precious metal or our gold or something. It's like, we'll pay you back. One-time fee. Get the fuck out of Denmark.
You didn't know how to handle that.
Yeah, you didn't know how to get it.
You took our uranium. You didn't even know it was in the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to say it. I was going to say something a little more offensive, but I'm going to keep it classy.
Okay.
Last clip of our migrant section. We're going to just scroll through it because I think it's in Indian. But basically, there was a bridge over a river, and everyone was throwing their trash in the river from the bridge. So they put a barrier up to stop people from doing that. So then they just threw the trash on the bridge.
On the side of the bridge.
Where they used to throw it in, now they just threw it on the side of the bridge instead.
They call that muscle memory. Indian muscle memory. And it's just trash out the window.
It's pretty good.
What happened to them? Nobody, they don't pay garbage men? I don't get it. How does a society miss this?
I don't
think there's a more impactful or visible or smelly public service than trash disposal. For a country to not figure it out,
they can't keep up with it. I think is the problem.
Yeah, they got too far behind. It's like Lucy? I Love Lucy with the chocolate situation. She got too far ahead of herself and she could never catch up. So I think that's what's happening in India.
That's what happened, and they're not slowing it down. And they really don't think. They just think, oh, I have all this trash. What do I want to get rid of it. Now it's gone. I don't have the trash anymore.
But you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, the tap water's a little unsafe to drink. Like there's microbiomes, like things you can't see. There's not a more visible, smelly, sensory overloaded example of rot and decay than trash everywhere.
So true.
And for them to miss that kind of is an insult to the entire continent, or the subcontinent rather.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to our final page of housekeeping where I can say whatever I want. Use the opportunity to go to the post. Help us juice the algo. All the good stuff. I don't feel like saying the whole thing. And also, guys, there is a bonus land, 30-minute bonus land tomorrow, 11 a.m. So if you guys want an extra episode and Wednesday's extra episode, fluckustalks.com is the website. All right, final page of housekeeping. I only have 2 things.
All right. You're working on it.
Yeah, but first...
This one's a good one, though.
The first one's important. And before we play it, this guy remote viewed a craft 31 Atlas that is on its way to the world, our world.
Oh, okay.
And he remote viewed it, which is a thing the CIA has talked about, where you can get into a meditative state and then soul jump to different places and different times, and you can see stuff.
Yeah, the CIA and then hippie girls who took too much acid, they both talk about it.
Yeah, but the CIA has docs. You've seen them. And it is a thing.
Allegedly.
Yeah, but the CIA has documents of people doing it. So this guy remote viewed, meaning he jumped to this spaceship that's carrying 5 million Draco reptilian soldiers inside.
I remote viewed the craft and I got direct information from that. Okay. And my take on that, I did just remote view the amount of people on board. I also remote viewed the technology was inside, the whole decks, the pods, the whole thing on the inside. So I can see they are using antimatter and fusion technology. And they also have pods housing less than 5 million direct reptilian soldiers inside. And so they're all dormant. They're not using space. They're not eating. They're not doing anything. They're just basically just waiting to be awakened. And they're all in pods.
You use the word soldier.
Yeah.
So they're coming here. Draco reptilians, 5 million soldiers ready to fight. Hopefully I'll be dead by then.
Doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound right to me.
But does it sound scary?
It sounds scary, sounds fake, sounds a little gay.
So you think that guy made it up?
Yeah. I think some people make shit up.
He puts his suit on, and then do you think he had a dream about it? Or do you think he just like, I'm going to lie to this person for no reason?
Yeah. I think some people wake up and do that.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to lie for no reason. There's a documentary here. I can't tell him nothing's happening. I got to go hard on something.
That really is like a psychotic move.
Well, I know, but there are psychotic
just
people out there, right?
Yeah.
There are bored people. There are some really fucked up people. Some guy will just do a Ponzi scheme. Some guy will steal all the money. Bernie Madoff. Like, people do sick shit.
Yeah,
and this guy he can say at the end of this, I'd rather have this guy than Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff stole people's pensions. People killed themselves. This guy just goes, yeah, I hurt no one. I made up 5 million Draco reptilians. It's a pretty good one.
It's interesting, but we'll see when Atlas 31 gets here.
Yeah, I think it's Atlas 3I that looked a little different, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's not important.
It's not important.
It doesn't matter, guys.
What's important is there's 5 million Draco reptilian soldiers, and they're hibernating, ready to go. Hopefully, when they get out of hibernation, they're a little sluggish. We take advantage of that.
Yeah, for sure. Strike first.
But the whole world is going to need to unite against that 5 million Draco soldier force. We're going to have one global government. We're all going to have to get the same currency, probably some digital currency to make it easy.
Facial recognition, so we know where all our soldiers are. Yeah. It'll be good.
And then we're going to unite against this threat that is real. And then we can just have like the whole world be under one government after.
Okay.
It'll make
Smart.
it easier.
Smart.
Wouldn't that be so much easier?
Yeah.
And all these different countries. We'll just all be one thing. We're all mixed up in brown anyway.
Yeah, we'll all eat slop with our hands again, guys.
Everyone's Indian anyway, so might as well. All right, last piece of final page of housekeeping. I saw this tweet. I thought it was really funny.
I'm chronically online in a different, more sophisticated way than you are.
That's pretty good.
Honestly, there are levels to how, like, if you spend your time watching slop and just watching retarded stuff and not learning any information, then you're kind of a mouth breather. You're kind of a retard.
And there is that AI slop out there where, like, the banana has the grills and he's jumping and he's fighting Rosa Parks. Like,
yeah.
That's retarded, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm getting stuff done.
For sure.
I'm getting the
You
info.
do need to take an inventory of what you're looking at online and make sure there's some newsworthy value or whatever. If you wake up your Instagram Reels page and it's all girls' asses, you might be a mouth breather. You might be in trouble.
Discover page, guys, you got to clear it out.
Yeah.
I have no asses on my Discover page, proudly.
Yep.
And then also the show itself is basically my algo. These are all the things we're talking about. So it's all politics and cringe and black crime and anti-Semitic stuff.
Absolutely.
Feels good. All right, that's the end of housekeeping. We're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first clip of Cringe is a Democrat influencer who gets emotional because of all the diversity he's enjoying in Chicago.
I'm in a bar in a back room of a liquor store in Chicago. It's a Mexican bar. The people that invited me in were Mexican. They saw me from social media and was like, hey, we love you. Will you come in? Yeah, I'll come in and have a Modelo. The point I want to get across. The beauty of this country is our diversity. And I don't see.
They got chips and guac. They're all 5'3", and I can't understand a word of the music, but it's better than white people, right?
Believe it or not, everyone drove here. They have no designated drivers. They're all hitting the road after this. It's so beautiful. He's like putting on a performance crying because there's Mexicans here. Zoom out. I'm crying because there's Mexicans. Me too, brother. For a different reason. For a different reason.
If you want to hang out with Mexicans, go to Mexico. Go to Cancun. Take a trip. You could have Modelo.
And this is another thing, like, where he's just using these people as props. Like, he's not having meaningful conversations with any of them. Like, none of them are his 5-year, 10-year long friends. It's just, there's Mexicans here. I'm crying now.
That's Mexicans is good.
Yeah.
That's like the thought process. That's it.
Unbelievable.
And Mexican isn't American.
Yeah.
American is American. And maybe that's like a harsh thing to say, but it's kind of common sense.
No, Mexico is under the Rio Grande. They go down there. They don't need to be in in Chicago.
Chicago?
I don't get it.
Freezing.
Why? Yeah.
What are you talking about?
They're not built for that.
All right, let's get to this next person, another person who hates white people.
Well, I thought you were going to transition this a little better. This guy loves Mexicans, and this woman hates white people. But a little Subway freak out.
You can fuck around and find out when I get off. Find out, okay. You shut up. Come and make me shut up. All y'all white motherfuckers, come and make me shut up. All y'all white motherfuckers, yeah, because y'all fucking talking because he's a white motherfucker and I'm talking about a dog. If I don't want a dog to touch me, I don't have to let a dog touch me. If I don't want the dog to touch me, and man, you want to record too? I can record you too, man. You like recording? I can record you too. You should record yourself yelling. You like to record? I can record too. You want to record? Who the fuck is y'all? I pay my fucking MTA thing. I don't want no dog on me. I don't have to have a dog on me. You want to record? Huh? Miss Vanilla, you want to record? Come.
Yeah. Amazon's about to cast her as the President of the United States in some new John Cena movie.
That was my line. Fleckus stole it from me. Thank you, Fleckus. That's the look.
That is the look in every new Amazon movie. The President of the United States is like some straight hair black woman with giant glasses in like a pantsuit.
And she's no nonsense. She'll tell it like it is and make the hard decision. That's why I got to stop telling you my lines before.
Finally, yeah, exactly. In the movies, she's the one who finally can get it right because all the white guys are doing no good.
You know what's interesting to me is whenever a white person has any sort of freak out or any sort of chimp out where they say something a little too harsh, found him. She works at XYZ company on YL Street, and here's her boss, and here's her this. Nobody fucking cares. This is kind of expected out of this woman, and she's dressed like an HR job.
She has a job with a dress code. She went to college.
Job.
Yeah. But you know, hey, can't judge an entire group by how pretty much all of them act.
Yeah, by 90% of them.
But that's a good point. Anytime a white person does any sort of...
And I'll have some grace that this is like probably a rock bottom moment maybe for her. Like this is like she hit a breaking point. Shitty day, shitty interaction, and she finally snapped and she made it racial for some reason, which, you know, whatever. But they don't give anybody else compassion on a freak out or a bad day. So you're filmed in public and then you're doxxed.
Yeah, zero will be done about that, which is like, that's how it should be.
I don't give a fuck.
But whenever it's a white person doing anything that is close, and I've never seen a white person go, fuck these black people. You black people need to shut up.
They go to jail.
Yeah. So there is obviously a double standard. Yeah. All right, let's get to our next story, the one we mentioned in the intro. This girl has multiple degrees, tons of debt, and she got fired, and she's sad.
Can someone explain to me how I have 4 degrees and still can't get a job? BA in communication, BA in Spanish, BFA in dance. Get ready for this one. Master's degree in freaking journalism. Mind you, I've gotten laid off not once, not twice, but 3 times in the span of 2 years. So if you're feeling behind, just know you're not alone. Basically, we're all cooked.
What? No dance jobs out there?
No Spanish jobs when you probably spoke Spanish before you got the degree in Spanish?
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So college wasn't worth the $250K you spent. And you should be against H-1Bs now, right?
Yeah, you're with us on the H-1B hate, right?
Yeah.
Just like the black women from before.
And it's like instead of being against the H-1Bs, it's more like, it's colonialism.
Yeah.
It's Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
Not the Indians that are pouring in and taking millions of jobs. It's Christopher Columbus from 400 years ago.
Yeah, and to be fair, like there's people who I feel bad for. Like if this is a white girl who kind of got sold a lie on, I was told to take out loans for college and now I can't even get entry-level shit. Like, I feel for some of them, but I got a feeling that girl's politics are drastically different from the conditions that would improve her employment chances, you know?
And if you get laid off 3 times, that means you got hired 3 times and they said,
that's a lot of reps.
This person's not worth it.
Yeah.
If you were doing great and they needed you, you don't get laid off.
I know.
You know? People get laid off, I get it, but if you were real, you know what? You don't get laid off.
For sure.
All right, next we have another example of graduates who have useless degrees.
Hi, my name is Kayla. I'm graduating from NYU Gallatin, and my concentration is economic inequality in the U.S. and Caribbean. Period.
talented, and my concentration is spiritual healing.
Hi, my name is Eliel, and I concentrated in Black storytelling.
Hey, my name is Gabby. My concentration is called Exploring Colonialism and Sustainable Economic Development.
Period.
We get it.
Black storytelling.
All these jobs are useless, and then when you don't get a job, you'll double down and say, oh, it's because of white privilege that no one cares about black storytelling.
I guess.
And it'll just feed into the whole thing of like, well, that's why you needed to major in the first place, because of the problems in society that no one's prioritizing, colonialism and economic diversity in the Caribbean.
Yeah, they need to build a bridge right there. That's engineering. There's no colonialism or black storytelling involved. Maybe on break, there's some black storytelling, but the bridge has to get built.
Yeah, so no one's actually learning anything in college, as you guys are probably figuring out. And then it starts before that, too. High school is cooked. We have a couple examples of high school and elementary school problems. Can you read that first one?
United States, LOL. In China, they pretend nothing happened at Tiananmen Square, but then United States history education, and the Indians taught the colonists how to grow corn. So that's kind of like a little lefty meme, because literally corn was only in America, so that had to happen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But Bum-da-dum said, my high school AP U.S. history class spent more time teaching me about the Trail of Tears, slavery, and the Holocaust than literally anything else in American history. The average U.S. history education is just white people bad on repeat.
Very true.
There's some point to that. There's some truth to that for sure.
And then we have examples of the problems with the elementary school. Can you read what this book says?
Yeah, it says, before you were born, a group of white men started making up lots of ideas about bodies that weren't true. They said that one kind of body was the best and that being fat was bad and being skinny was good. They were very wrong, but lots of people listened to them.
So that's something that the kids are reading.
Yeah.
And then it gets even worse. I saw a couple of tweets I thought were really interesting. We've kind of talked about this before, but the kids showing up to elementary school are so far behind the kids from years ago. Can you give those two tweets a read?
Yeah, spoke to a primary school teacher and very black-pilled. Seems to be an entirely post-lockdown phenomenon. Her class went from having one child not potty trained to nearly 50%. Parenting standards have fallen through the floor, demoralizing having to teach in such an environment. And he goes on to say, there's a disaster unfolding in our primary schools. So many children aren't potty trained, can't hold a pen, have never been read to, eaten fruit, etc. Core strength is being taught in reception because children are so used to slumping over devices that they can't sit properly.
So they just go like this.
Yeah.
You sit like that all day.
Can't read. Nobody even reads to them.
Isn't that crazy?
They just hear TikTok sounds. They know the viral songs from TikTok.
And then they go to college and they spend $300,000. Are they going to get anything out of it? There's like a whole cooked generation.
Yeah.
That if the power goes out, everyone dies.
Well, and there's a pipeline to the slaughter. There's a pipeline, and like even if you were a dumb fucking idiot mouth breather who developed late and whatever, you could still avoid debt and get like a construction job and then learn how to operate an excavator and be all right.
Yeah.
You know? But there's this cooked pipeline where you never learn any tangible skills, and then they send you to a degree mill for $200,000 in debt, and then your student loan repayment is like rent, and then you work at Starbucks or something, and you never get ahead. You're like constantly behind and weighed down. It's like swimming with an anchor tied to you, you know?
And then you're mad.
So like even a stu dum-dum guy could get away with it and be like, yeah, I made it out. I never learned math. You can get away with still never learning math. But you got to not take on debt and go do a blue collar type trade, right?
I like never knowing math.
I'm
good at math because I had the multiplication table race every day in fourth grade against.
You're good at very basic
against
math.
David Edisari.
You're
I'm
good-
actually good at math.
Okay.
All right. Next, we have some graphs here. Another part of the decline in society, but this one's actually a good one.
Yeah, it's an update on trans. This is from some new studies that came out. New trans identification is in free fall among the young. And this is share of students not identifying as male or female. And it rocketed up in the post-2020, post-COVID world, hit a peak in 2023, maybe 2022, and now has been since coming down.
That's very nice. And for a long time, the trans people's argument for why there's so much more trans shit going on, they compared it to the graph of the history of left-handedness, meaning like, oh, back in the day, people told the lefties to be right-handed, so no one really knew they were left-handed. And once they figured out that it was the same thing but just different, the number of left-handed people went up to the real number.
So they were suppressed.
They were suppressed.
So trans people were suppressed. There was always 2% of the population was trans, but they weren't given the tools or the subreddits to get there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So here's the left-handedness graph. Yeah. And you can see it goes up to the real number of left-handed people, and then it just flatlines out.
About 11% of people are left-handed, right?
But with the trans graph, if that was the same, it would flatline out. Oh, yeah, 10% of society is trans, and that's been consistent, and now it's reaching its level. But the fact that it's going down debunks their whole left-handedness graph correlation thing.
It's a meme. It's a social contagion. It happened. It really blew up when people were locked inside and mentally unwell during COVID. So, yeah, it all checks out. And imagine getting psyoped into a fad where you end up chopping your cock off.
Yeah, not good.
I can't imagine chopping my cock off and be like, well, anybody else around? You look around like... So.
And the nice thing, too, is we're on the cool side. Like the trans and the non-binaries and like the LGBT leftists, that is like not cool at all anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's like, for a second, maybe it was during COVID. Obviously, we never thought it was. But now it's just really not cool. And it's actually cool to be like a racist right-winger.
Yeah.
And then the left wing is just like boomers and like deranged people with weird piercings and like trans.
Yeah, and it was always a way for attention. It was guaranteed attention levels that you had never gotten before, but sometimes from some groups it was positive attention, and then from other groups it was negative attention, which technically is still attention.
And it was like a novel thing. There was like in 2020 and beyond, it was like, oh, trans, like I'm different. This is who I really am. And like it's not that cool anymore because it got played out and there's a lot of freaks and it's not fun. It's not as sweet as they had it a few years ago. And then we have a story here. A transsexual man has been sentenced to 21 months in prison in England for concealing his biological sex from a man before a sexual encounter.
If I was the judge, I would not have sentenced him.
That one's on you, brother.
Yeah, that's your responsibility, brother.
Oh, man. All right. Our final clip of Cringe is from a school board meeting in Maine. We're not too much to talk about, but I want to show you the points that were made. These parents are mad that their daughters, their children, have to change in the locker room with biological men, and look at the point they made.
I had an opportunity to be heroes. You guys became heroes. It's not about to show you guys how uncomfortable it is to be heroes.
Point of order.
We've asked that we use... Oh, so wait. They're covered. You feel uncomfortable? Because that's what these young girls feel like when a boy walks into the locker room and starts unchanging in front of them. Yeah, you feel uncomfortable, right? Feel uncomfortable, huh? That's what these young girls feel like every time a young boy changes in front of them. You can look at me like that all you want. That's exactly how they feel. And you, Miss Muffy, oh, well, I don't know if I stand with girls or if I stand with my, with the... So you don't care how young girls feel? You don't care about the safety of young kids? What about what happened in Virginia with that boy that raped a young girl in a bathroom, then got sent to another school and did it again? What are we going to do when that happens here?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a good little, I don't know, social experiment or protest.
Yeah, they're at their wits' ends. What can we do? We got to change in front of them. It's fucking crazy.
Get our ass out.
Nobody just takes our word for it anymore. We have to get our asses out.
We have to literally show them as adults and then say, now apply this to children. Isn't that worse? Yeah. All right. Well, don't get too down or too depressed. It's going to get a little worse. Moving on to urban decay. All right, urban decay. We have a lot of urban decay to get to today. First, there was a story going around, and I saw it online. Black News posted it, and it said, Georgia teen sentenced to 70 years in prison for defending himself at Walmart.
What? No way. Black News? Black News is going to tell us the truth about this incident?
Yeah, so they called it self-defense, but we can kind of tell you. Can you tell maybe a little more context of what actually happened?
Yeah, basically this guy was working at Walmart. He shot someone. I don't know how much of it was self-defense or not, but the jury knows. The jury who convicted him and sentenced him to 70 years in prison. How do they know? Because it was on camera in Walmart, in heavily monitored Walmart. this young man ended up shooting a 9-year-old girl in the face.
Then he fled the scene after.
Yeah, then he fled the scene, and a manhunt had to be done. And ultimately, I think his girlfriend also got like an aiding and abetting and helping in this charge. But Black News says it was self-defense.
He was just defending himself.
Yeah. But it's on camera, and a jury of his peers saw it and still convicted him. But it was self-defense. Thank you, Black News.
Yeah, thank you, Black News. Pretty divisive stuff. All right, our next story is from Covington, Kentucky. There was a girl getting beaten up and, like, I don't want to say tortured, but
Multiple girls, and yeah, I want to say torture.
yeah, it is basically tortured. Look at this clip. Look how sick this is.
Say it. Just say it, Bella. Say it. Bella. Say fuck chill. Bella, you gotta say it. You gotta say it. You gotta say it. Say fuck chill. 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 Say it, bitch. Hold this one. Bella, you gotta say it. Say it again. Say it louder. Say it more clear. Say it louder. Say it on top, nigga. Say fuck chill. Say fuck chill. Say fuck chill. Say that shit. Say that shit. Say that shit. Say it. Bro. Say it. Say it so the camera can hear it. Stop. She said it. She said it. No, make sure the camera can hear it. Say it. She said it. Say it. I fucking said it. It's your turn. Yeah, it's your turn. Camera ain't here. You don't even understand.
So they're beating him up.
Beating him up, forcing him to say something, and it's a white girl named Bella, surrounded by a bunch of sub-Saharan Africans stomping her out. And, you know, a beating, when someone gets a beating, it's boom, 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 boom. It's a barrage, and it's a quick thing, and then it subsides, which is still bad. This sort of prolonged torture, forcing you to say something, and then, like, surprising you with extra hits the whole time.
And it's guys hitting her, too.
It's a different level. Yeah, of course it is. They don't
have
rules.
This happened a few weeks ago, and there's been no charges. Not sure where that girl's dad is at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my dad would go handle that if that was his daughter.
Some sort of vigilante season.
Yeah, and there is some context here as to why there's so much black crime in schools that doesn't get dealt with. It's a little bit of a read, but it's worth it. It's a little bit of a history lesson. Can you give that a read, please?
Yeah, the reason why this type of behavior happens all the time is because in 2014, Obama threatened to nuke any school in the country that called the police on black criminal behavior. They called it the school-to-prison pipeline. And his admin threatened to not only force the Department of Education to withdraw funding from any school that had black kids being apprehended by police, but also file Title IV and Title VI suits against them. I watched the effects of these policies firsthand. By the time I was a senior in high school, I personally witnessed stabbings, beatings, drug deals, white kids getting jumped in the hallway, and much more, all in a good school. I think one of the most horrifying things I witnessed was my junior year, where a girl had her head repeatedly slammed into a locker by a black kid and was rolled out of the school on a stretcher. The black kid who did that was back in class 3 days later. One of my friend's mom was in the admin, and she told my mom that they couldn't report the latest fight to the police because if they did and the kid was arrested and sent to juvie, then the school would likely lose their funding. Most schools still to this day operate like this, even with Trump in office and a new Department of Education, because all the local admin is used to it now. They won't enforce against blacks because it's now been a decade of the threat, even if it isn't credible anymore, that the school will be obliterated if they dare call the police on a black kid.
Yeah, so if you're doing felonies in a school,
it doesn't make it not a felony anymore because there's a principal around.
Yeah, school to prison pipeline sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, torture to prison pipeline is what we could reframe this one as, because you need to go to prison for something like this, right?
Absolutely insane. And then there was another post I thought that added some more context as well.
I would like to add on to this post because I feel like an important aspect was missed. Schools also aren't allowed to punish kids because of disparate impact laws. Black students often go unpunished to keep parity in the demographics of students being punished to stay within disparate impact laws.
So it's not even like, well, did someone get assaulted? Did someone get abused or, hit or whatever? It's well, if it's a black person, it doesn't count because we don't want to mess up the ratio. Like it shouldn't even, race shouldn't even play into it. It should just be, oh, if you did a felony, we're calling the cops. If you bring a gun to school, we're calling the cops. If you get into a fight and someone gets really badly hurt, we're calling the cops. Like it's not even
But
about
backwards and upside down world stopped all that.
race comes first.
Yeah.
And then Mehmet Sisyphus had a great point about Covington in general.
Your other options for high school in Covington are the Catholic private school where the students were targeted and ridiculed by international news for standing near an Indian meth head. For some reason, I don't think this story will be quite as big as that one.
Yeah, very true.
Yep.
Nice part of the country getting ruined.
Yeah.
That is a nice
Absolutely.
part. All right. Let's move on to our next story. This is a stabbing story.
Yeah. New Jersey shopper buys knives, stabs woman for taking too long online, police say. A woman in North Jersey bought a set of knives at Marshall to stab a fellow shopper. So that's why we're covering this. Someone sent this to me.
Took too long in line.
Amber I. Thompson, 25 of Newark, argued with the other shopper over the movement speed of the checkout line around 6:15. Thompson allegedly threatened to harm the woman outside. When the victim left, Thompson bought a set of kitchen knives at the store, then followed the woman to the parking lot. Thompson then took out one of the knives and stabbed the victim in front of her family, police say. Police found Thompson in the bathroom with a kitchen knife laying atop the baby changing station. After interviewing witnesses, police arrested Thompson. But so buying the murder weapon or attempted murder weapon in the store because you got in an argument. And try as we might, we could not find a mugshot of this woman.
So we can't guess the race, but there are clues. Getting mad in line.
That's one for black, right?
That's one for black. Amber Thompson.
I'm trending black.
Trending black, but
Amber is a big black name.
It is.
But it's also white, so that's kind of
It is
neutral.
also white. So neutral, can't be sure. Newark.
That's one for the blacks.
That's one for the blacks.
Marshall's. That trend's white a little bit. Marshall's trend's white, but Marshall's in Newark.
Black.
So are we going to lock in our answer?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
Just because there's no upside.
Just leave it up to
you guys let us know what you think.
Oh, another point for black. Staying around the scene of the crime and not even trying to get away. Kind of retarded. Black.
I think that's an interesting situation.
Compelling case. But that's the first kind of its kind.
It's interesting. It's
Yeah.
interesting. It's
I don't know,
interesting.
it's interesting.
It's interesting.
It's interesting you say that.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our repeat offenders section. We're going to kind of pace on through this. A little, not a speed round, but we got a lot of repeat offenders, believe it or not.
Okay.
First, remember Big Balls, the Doge guy who got beat up?
Yeah, the hero.
Well, they're letting those people go in an attempt to rehabilitate them or something.
Yeah, D.C. Judge Kendra Briggs has allowed the two teens who jumped Edward Big Balls Corstein to avoid jail and sentenced them to simple probation, stating her job is to rehabilitate, not punish.
Kendra Briggs.
But you don't rehabilitate by giving them probation. Nothing happens. You don't. There's no force being applied there. They got to meet with like a State Department person once a week. Yeah.
And then I guess if they do a crime and get caught while on probation, then they get in real trouble. So that's the rehabilitation. But then it's like, all right, next time you carjack somebody,
yeah,
then we'll really get you. So you already carjacked. You already made the decision. You already crossed the line.
Yeah. It was a violent crime, extremely violent crime.
Yeah. And then we have another repeat offender here. So this next segment, these next couple are all from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Timothy Larico Massey, a man with a criminal history, was arrested last month in Charlotte, North Carolina for allegedly possessing a weapon of mass destruction. He was released 1 day later. Yesterday, Massey was arrested again for assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill. How does this keep happening?
That's a rare charge, weapons of mass destruction. Even Saddam couldn't get those.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And so this was September 24th, and then the second arrest was October 15th. So, 2 weeks later. And we were desperately trying to find what this guy had, like Dirty Bomb. He's like the Joker in North Carolina. But North Carolina kind of has a weird thing where it's like machine guns or a sawed-off shotgun or like
grenade
or rocket launcher or something.
But they released him 1 day later and said, chill with the plans for mass casualty events, brother.
Chill, brother.
And that was in Charlotte, North Carolina, like Irina Zarutska's murder was. And he was released by Teresa Stokes, again, the judge who released DeCarlos Anthony or whatever. And then this
Brown, maybe
DeCarlos,
Brown.
and the guy who killed Irina Zarutska. And then our next example, This woman was released by the same judge, Teresa Stokes, again in Charlotte.
Yeah, Paulette Gibson, who was arrested for stabbing 2 people and leaving them for dead, was just released from prison on a $20,000 bond in Charlotte. She has a mind-blowing 15 prior arrests, including for violent offenses, and she's back on the streets today.
15 prior arrests, stabbed 2 people, basically left them for dead, out on a $20,000 bond. And also, there was some context. During this stabbing, she encouraged a 10-year-old to stay and watch the fight. So that's good. But she's got to go back out. I mean, society might need her.
Yeah, and, you know, some people were slaves like 250 years ago, so that helps you get back out, too.
Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, or something.
And this is Teresa Stokes, who we've told you about for weeks now. It's like we're like judges are getting famous now for all the criminals they release. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, and then we covered this the first time around, and so did Charlie Kirk. Right now, millions of people are finding out that you can become a magistrate judge in many states without being a licensed lawyer. Teresa Stokes never passed the bar exam.
Wow.
So, real retard shit happening in North Carolina. You know, I'm a big seller of Minneapolis. I might be looking to sell some of Judge Teresa Stokes' district.
Minneapolis has already been doing this.
Yeah.
So like you sell that in like George Floyd time or 2019 perfectly, sell the top. But North Carolina, surprising me. You'd think it was a more red situation. Teresa Stokes should just be arrested.
Yeah.
And if you arrested her, think about the example that would set for every other judge. If you arrested a judge for this, every other judge would go, I know I'm doing that George Soros let the criminals out thing, but this guy might actually kill somebody again. I'm going to, and they would like double think it.
No, and whether or not you can, which I don't think you can, she's literally endangering the public. She is endangering the public with her decisions made after not passing the bar. And like, we need to take, whether or not you can do something to her, which I doubt you can, we need to take a look and take corrective action as a society when we see something like this happen. The weapon of mass destruction guy, the double stabbing, Irina Zarutska's killer.
It's all because they're black.
Yeah.
It's not even...
It's at least a part of it.
That's a big part. All right, we have some New York City repeat offenders. Can you give that one a read?
New York City transit slasher cut loose by judge, then knifes stranger in deranged subway attack. So this is someone we've covered before on the show.
And now he's immediately stabbing again.
Yeah, an unhinged slasher who randomly attacked a stranger outside a Manhattan subway station was free to walk the streets despite a separate transit knife attack, officials said. And his disfigured victim raged that the lax criminal justice system nearly got him killed. Yeah, he raged. I would too. I'd be so fucking pissed if a stabber stabbed me after getting let back out.
And then you see him on the street again after?
Yeah. He was nabbed several hours after he cut the 27-year-old man across his face without warning outside the East Broadway train. I'm not going to read a lot of this, but basically the entire context of the New York Post article is saying how it was unprovoked, it was unexpected, there was zero interaction between him, so it's purely a random slasher. Cut him across like the lip and nose area. And so, like,
you have a scar for life now.
You're fucked up for life because some street rat wasn't in a cage. And then here's a picture of the stabber. Dirty hair, shitty dreads, always is a leading indicator. Never relax. Around blacks with dirty dreads, never relax. And it doesn't rhyme as much.
You might as well just be safe.
Yeah.
Just generalize the whole group. Unfortunately, it's not your fault.
And then this is why, like, leftists, when they make fun of, like, oh, you're afraid of cities, conservatives afraid of cities. It's like, I'm not afraid of cities. I know how to get around Manhattan. I know how to get around the subway system. But there's just the chance, and then when human error or societal belief error contributes to that chance, it just makes my emotions about the incident or possibility so much worse, right?
So true.
Because this could have easily been avoided. This guy slashed someone already. You go to jail for like 10 years at least for that.
Mm-hmm. But you let him out immediately and he slashes again, and now someone has a scar on their face for life.
I'd be pissed.
And we live in Florida,
Yeah.
where repeat offenders are kind of handled for the most part.
Yeah.
But not all the time. This TikToker went to a jail and bailed out a felon for no reason.
Yo, are you James? Yeah. We just bailed you out, bro. Oh. If you don't mind me asking, bro, like, what'd you do to get in this situation?
Domestic violence. I had to put my hands on my bitch. It was a big ass mistake. It was a rookie mistake. end up in here.
Because you got caught, or?
Yeah, 'cause I got caught.
Your bail was $500, so I'm gonna do a $500 dice roll on rain bet, and if it hits,
we're gonna end it right there before they start gambling content. But they gamble on some preferred thing and then take him to a strip club.
And then, yeah, take him to a strip club. And his bail was $500, so he didn't have $500, and he didn't have a friend or family member who had $500 that could come bail him out. That's who should be in jail.
Yeah, if no one has faith in you, around you, in your circle, or $500, you should be in jail. And if you guys didn't hear, he hit his bitch.
He put his hands on his bitch.
And what's hilarious to me about this whole situation, this is obviously like TikTok brain rot shit where you go and bail out some violent retard. But there are entire groups that exist and like charities and support networks for like women who have been hit by their significant other to help them move apartments, get a new location, go to the bail hearing so the guy stays in, you know, meet with the parole board.
Yeah.
Obviously this was, if he was out on 500 bail, it wasn't that extreme. But like there's entire networks to do it and to only be done by one brain dead Zoomer TikToker with a gambling ad.
Now he's back on the street.
Like that's, and he's going to punch that bitch again. I don't know. It's
crazy.
It's dark. It's like this
dark.
is dystopian, right?
We're not making fun of domestic violence.
The competing interests of the domestic violence survivorship groups and charities versus one TikToker with a gambling ad. You know?
It's absolutely crazy. All right, our next part of Urban Decay, we have a little bit of, it's called the Taking Advantage section. It's basically bad situations, and instead of helping, you make it worse. So this guy is knocked out or dead, or he's not dead.
He's knocked out at a gas station.
He's knocked out at a gas station.
Someone should help him, roll him over on his side.
And here comes people to help.
Here comes help.
They're going to help take his wallet out.
They're going to run me his pockets.
Yeah. We're gonna help him get rid of that watch.
Yeah, that watch is weighing him down. And then this guy who's running his pockets. He's got some like nice shoes on. He's stunting tonight.
And then they just leave him still dead.
Yeah. So nobody's coming to help you. They're actually coming to make it way worse for you. Like, you could have the worst night of your life, and if you're around a couple hoods, it's going to be an even worse night.
Yeah, it's very true. Not a good place to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Next, we have a McDonald's sleeper. This woman maybe is on drugs, but she's passed out at McDonald's, and people take advantage.
On Lindell, man. Check in. Look at my boy on the fries, cuz.
Fries. Doing your own fries. Anything goes.
Look at she over here drooling. Come on, baby girl. You the manager, man. You supposed to do better than this. This shit crazy. Everybody just getting their free meals in, man.
That's pretty. Well, at least she's working.
Yeah. No Narcan. No help.
Yeah.
No poison control. Just wait a salt. I gotta get my fries.
Are you having like a low sugar attack?
Yeah. Could be diabetic.
You know, and then they said, "Oh, get your free meal." And it's like you were gonna pay with EBT anyway. It was free anyway. You know.
Yeah.
That's a good point. All right.
Your own point was a good point.
Yeah. It's important.
What about my John Cena line from earlier that you stole?
That's what happens when you tell me the good lines. I go, "Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna
beat him to it.
I'm gonna beat him to it." All right, let's get to our next clip. We have two clips here, and it's basically how not to engage with police during getting pulled over, and then how to engage with police. So this woman is an example of how not to engage with police, and before we play it, it might seem like it's a skit. That's what I thought at first. I said, "Oh, this is fake." It's not a skit.
60 miles an hour.
I can see my speed limit here. I was going 35. It's a big SUV. It's an Audi. It goes pretty fast for the speed. There's no cars on the road. It was just me and you.
Have you been drinking?
That's a racial slur right there, because how do I look like I've been drinking? Because I'm telling you what I was going.
Because you're
doing
drinking, 35
you want to do a breathalyzer or not? Okay. 6 more days to drive with an expired license plate. Temporary. So I need you to put that back before I be suing you.
You can sue me.
Okay, I need you to put that back. I'm gonna go drive without a license plate.
I'm not talking to you anymore. You're free to go. Get back in your car.
You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. I need my license plate back on my car. I have 6 days.
Don't get back in your car. You're gonna get arrested. If you're gonna get back in your car, get back in your car. Get back in the car.
that you don't touch me. I can stand in the street. Do I have a... No, I don't, so you can't arrest me. Let me go.
Stop.
Let me go, then.
Stop.
I have kids. Let me go.
Get out of the car.
I'm not getting out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Let me go, because you arrest me for no reason. Let me go now. Call my people, say, come get my kids. Are you stupid?
Yeah.
Son, go get my kids. Are you stupid?
Stop.
To me, I let somebody else.
Are you stupid? It goes on, and then she gets wrestled and arrested.
And then she gets wrestled and arrested, and she said it's an Audi. It goes fast for its speed. And
Don't think there's relative speed there. There's just miles per hour.
And then asking if he was drunk is a racial slur. And then she gave one of the top responses that you usually see. I'll sue you.
Yeah.
That's a top 8 response that we have here. The survey says I'll sue you is a big one.
Yeah. And, you know, think about the times that you've been aggressive with someone, like maybe someone you're really close with, like, probably the only person I'd even get close to that aggressive with is you. Like when we get in a little argument, we're like, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? And even then it's because we're just kind of fucking around too. But to walk around with that level of aggression and then to have the recipient of that aggression be a cop, it's like, how stupid are you? What's your judgment level, right?
A cop that just said you're free to go.
Yeah.
And it's like, now I'm going to double down.
Now I'm getting out of my vehicle, sir. But so, I mean, it's just like retarded. And then at the end, you find out she's a mother. She's responsible for kids. And that's how the doom cycle happens. This is your mom. You're kind of on a path of like shit for your entire life. And that's when we say like black women have a higher murder rate than white men.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that testosterone coursing through her there.
That's a great point. That's a very good point. Yeah, she's a mother, and then she's setting an example for the next generation, which we already know is cooked.
Yeah.
No, her kids can't read. All right, and here we have an example.
Maybe they can. I'm not just a pure racist. Maybe they can.
What she taught him?
Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood. Shut up. Shut up now. Yeah, I'm reading it to you. It's probably like that, but they can read, maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And then here's an example of a black American who's handling their interaction with the police in a nice way. He was stopped because him and his friend were using those gel guns.
Orbeez.
Those Orbeez.
Yeah.
And people saw it and thought they were real guns, which makes total sense. And they called the cops. And look how he handles it.
They were spray painted. The guns were spray painted. So people...
Not as good, not as clean. Looked like a real gun.
You know why we're out here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a seat.
Okay.
Okay, what's going on, man?
Oh, we just playing Orby Blasters.
Orby Blasters?
Yeah.
Okay, is there an Orby Blaster in your car?
Yes, it's my front seat.
Okay, there's people out here thinking you guys are pointing guns at each other.
Okay.
That's for the hostility.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I understand.
Okay. I'm going to close the door real quick. I'm going to just check your car, and then that's it. All right,
man? You want my keys?
Yeah. If you,
I think his door is unlocked.
If you give me permission. You got your ID on you?
It's in my glove department in my wallet.
Okay.
So, like, if you look it up, it's in my wallet.
All right. So he's saying they were shooting each other with, like, gel guns. All right. What's your first name?
Dewan.
Spell it.
D-E-J-U-A-N.
D-E-J-U-A-N. Yeah, man. People call saying you guys are pointing guns at each other.
Okay, I understand.
You know, from a distance, if you couldn't see that magazine, it looks like an AR.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, you can step out, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, your keys are on top of your roof. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, it just.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
It looks. It looks real.
Yeah.
You sprayed it?
Yeah.
Oh well.
It was a while back. They wanted
So, you know, I understand.
You know why I'm here? Yeah. I mean, and that's the same thing for, do you know why I pulled you over? Yeah. I was speeding.
But she might see that and go, why he acting white?
Yeah.
You know? I understand. Yeah, it's in my glove compartment. Yeah, you can go look at it.
Yeah, go look at it.
I'll wait here.
I want to get out of this situation. We were pointing guns. Do you know why people called about you pointing guns at each other?
Yeah.
Probably because we were pointing guns at each other.
You know? That's it.
Yeah.
So there is normal people who can interact. It's not everybody.
If you're a normal, level-headed person, getting through society is so easy. Getting through life is so easy. All the difficulties are self-inflicted or a decision that you made. I shoplifted and then I freaked out when the cops got here. Well, me personally, I didn't shoplift. No cops came. And then it was it was a safe drive back. I drove pretty much the speed limit, 5 over. Then we got some flexibility. I drove 5 over. Nobody stopped me. I used my turn signal, and I got what I needed from Target. It's a fucking easy life, guys. It's really easy.
But then you shoplift, and then 1 out of 3 times you get caught. Then the cops are here. Now you're escalating. I didn't do shit. Now they're grabbing you. Put hands behind your back. I'm not listening to that. I got kids. I got to go. I got kids.
I got kids. That alerts the cops to call DCFS because mommy's not going to be around.
And then they wrestle you to the ground or they tase you. And now it's like you're doing all these things that you didn't have to do. And then that kid's a good example. They had what looked like real guns.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd think, oh, cops are going to come kill them. They got black people with guns. Cops are going to blah, blah, blah. No, that's how it got played out.
Yeah.
So good points for the cops.
Yep.
All right, well, that's the end of Urban Decay. Don't get too down or too depressed. We're moving on to Uplifting Gold, and we have some uplifting stuff today. Our first clip is one of the best football plays I have ever seen from a high school game.
Drop back pass across the middle.
One on the catch.
Jesus, he'll go. Oh boy, just freaking amazing, man.
Breaks a bunch of tackles.
No way!
No
fucking way.
Freaking block his ass.
That was crazy.
Fucking believable.
No way.
God.
The way he ducked 52.
That was pretty good.
All right, cool.
That's Americana.
What was
Football
that,
season.
90-yard pass, 97-yard play from scrimmage?
Yeah.
Or probably
That was a great play.
Good for him.
We should go maybe see some Friday Night Lights games.
Too old. People think I'm a fucking...
PEDO. Like, oh, I like watching these
What
kids.
are these guys doing here? What are these two guys doing?
I don't think so.
I wish there was a sick team. Like, I'd go, but...
I might look into it.
St. Pete Catholic.
Yeah.
Nobody's good there,
That
right?
could be kind of cool. All right, let's go to our next clip. This bird, he has hobbies.
Some sort of crane?
Yeah.
Sandhill crane?
Emu. He takes a ball.
A roadrunner or something. I don't know what this guy is.
He's an emu.
That's no emu.
And
But he throws the golf ball on the concrete. He likes it.
He's like a hobby.
He bounces it. Yeah.
And he sees people playing golf, and he probably thinks, oh, I play golf too.
That guy could steal your ball legitimately.
What's the rule if he steals your ball? You play it after he throws it?
Yeah.
Or you put it back to where it was?
I don't know. I don't know the rule.
All right, next, this kid's friends with a baby deer. A baby is a friend with a baby deer. And this is not AI schlop.
Mm-hmm.
Baby deer comes. Babies recognize other babies.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't know about this birds.
All right.
That's cool.
You get the point.
Deer's got ticks, but
yeah,
it's not about that. All right, next, this kid went fishing and got the hook stuck in his neck.
Being brave? You are being really brave, aren't you?
There it is, Walmart.
Oh, yeah. Poppy's filling out paperwork for you. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing real good.
Take a picture.
I'm taking your picture right now with your fish. I really am. Because this is going to be a classic. Mm-hmm.
No phones allowed.
Yeah, no phones allowed, but we're going to just take your picture. Okay, bye.
That's pretty funny. That's Americana.
Yeah, and the kid follows rules. He knows about the no phones allowed sign.
Yeah,
And then if you know about the no phones allowed sign, you know you can ignore that sign. That's not really a real sign.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That kid's a little tough kid. All right, our Pure Americana, it's not a clip, but a Pure Americana story of the week. This is Pure Americana. Can you give that a read?
Yeah, this guy posts a picture of some sort of SEC Texas couple, and this guy says, genuinely, what the F am I doing wrong? Because the girl is a little out of the guy's league.
You might think,
but they're dating. And someone quote tweeted and said, this is classical local small lord physiognomy. She understands he is fated to be a baron or mayor over 5,000 households, small town factory, or car dealership owner.
Yeah. It's like an ancient destiny
It's
almost.
a birthright, yeah.
It's
Some
like
sort
an
of
ancient destiny in modern times. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Well, that's the end of the episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Episode 300 coming on Tuesday. We got some stuff in the works, nothing crazy. But we might put together a little compilation, a little looking back type thing.
A little reflecting, if you will.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Okay.
Crazy. But have a nice weekend, and we are going to do a 30-minute bonus land tomorrow at 11 a.m., so we hope to see you there. FluckusTalks.com is the website. If you guys want 4 episodes a week, you got to join bonus land. Please do. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. 100. Goodbye.
like his pets get controlled. Coming up to bite in your day. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. Best to keep the P.O. box full. We won't stop till the world is rid of all the pickles. If more fleckless content is what you demand, then just make sure you're sub to bonus land. Fleckless talks, give it up to the world's best host. Fleckless talks, choose the ongoing tickle the post. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. We're watching old episodes. Yeah, watching old episodes. Fleckless talks, buying shit coins and trading stocks. Fleckless talks, we're still kicking over stacked rocks. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. Words are just words until action actually starts. Fleckless talks, and actions speak louder than words. Fleckless talks, but at the same time, words speak.
The people that invited me in were Mexican. They saw me from social media and was like, hey, we love you. Will you come in? Yeah, I'll come in.